Is Peter McGuire. He's CEO Exim Australia. Peter, hi, good to have you. And I want to talk about the metals as a sector because the month of July has been quite positive for many of them, even as we kept talking about the slowdown in US and Europe. The dollar index played between 99 to 101, and we still kept waiting for the China stimulus. Even with all of those things, we've seen copper prices post gains of 5%. Nickel, zinc are up 8 to 9% for the month of July. What do you see working for this sector right now?
Well, good afternoon, Manisha. I tell you what, it's been one-way traffic all of July, and if that momentum can continue in August, it's going to be quite a dynamic month of probably opportunity for traders. And what I saw, you know, that copper was well bid up, nickel, aluminium and zinc, you know, big numbers in the last session in the LME. So I think the overall theme is commodities are having a nice little run to the upside, and have a look at energy. And yeah, don't get in the way of it. It might run you over.
Okay. You know, as markets, as the street expects more China stimulus, we also are looking at the speculative long positions continue to build here. And add to that the fact that for copper especially, we've seen Codelco numbers come quite bearish in sense of output and projections for this year as well. Would you say that on one side it is money riding on further gains, and on the other side, the fundamentals clearly supporting that?
Well, the fundamentals, absolutely, Manisha, and you can't put your mind away that, you know, there's been underinvestment for many years in that whole sector. So that's not a good sign. So there's plenty of, I think, demand that'll build over the rest of this decade. And, you know, the prices at the moment are fairly, well, in anyone's terms, they're cheap compared to where they've been in, you know, over the last year or so. So it's a time for probably a little bit of sunshine to hit the miners. And I think from a demand picture, yes, if this China really starts to ratchet up as far as stimulus, then that's going to support prices even more, I would say.
So, Peter, with the kind of gains that we've already put behind in July, what's your expectations in August? What metals are you picking? What kind of gains are you expecting?
Well, I think it's 9,000's got to, you know, you've got to get through that sort of from a barrier standpoint. For copper. Have a look also that, you know, aluminium, where it's running at the moment, and zinc, they're still relatively cheap. You know, we're nowhere near that 3,500 for aluminium. So, you know, there's a bit of upside. What is it, 22.80? So it's a well down compared to where it's been. And I think there's, you know, maybe 2,500 for that as the first starting point for aluminium. And as I said, 9,000 for copper. Then we'll re-look at it, Manisha, because, you know, these markets are, it seems to be fairly dynamic at the moment and fairly bullish over that July period, and I think that will continue this month.
How are you looking at the dollar index? Because we've seen a very smart rebound from a 99 to 101 plus kind of levels where we stand on that right now. We've seen quite a bit of a decline come in for Japanese yen. Some of the other high-yielding currencies, those seem to be holding firm. How are you looking at the whole currency mix?
Well, yeah, I mean, the yen, first off, has been dynamic from a trading perspective because there's movement, Manisha. It's absolutely, you know, it's just sensational. You know, 137, 138, it bounces to 142. Tomorrow it might be 139. I mean, it's just all over the shop. Last week was a big week when you're looking at the Fed on Wednesday, ECB Thursday, and then a decision by the BOJ on Friday. So it's been a very big 4 or 5 days of trading, and that adds to the volatility mix. US dollar, as you said, nearly at 102 for that US dollar index. So I won't be surprised to maybe it edges up a little bit further from here. Currency-wise, yeah, euro, maybe a 109.50 sort of number. We've just got to wait and see where it all rolls. But they're very, it's dynamic 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, Manisha, and don't marry a trade.
Absolutely. Much of the gains in the metals also seem to be coming in from the fact that the energy prices have been rising. So because it's used in furnace, because it's part of a mix, that would also weave into the prices. With 16% of gains in crude oil prices for the month of July, how's August looking to you? $85 per barrel is done. Do you see further gains coming from here?
First off, if I was a cigar smoker, I'd be lighting up Davidoffs and smoking them all day long, but I don't smoke, Manisha. So it's been an incredible month for July for oil and the energy complex. 85.5 for Brent. I think $90 has got its name written on it sometime in August. I don't know when. But don't forget, you're coming into hurricane seasons. You've got different forms as far as supply and demand issues that will face us all over this month. So yeah, and I won't be surprised for WTI to be at an $85 handle soon as well. So yeah, further upside for the energy complex, and yeah, it's been a nice couple of weeks certainly for traders.
Our final quick word on gas prices also, because we've seen some strength come back into this one as well. So whether it's heating oil, gasoline, all of that surged up in the month of August, and by a good 20 to 25% on that.
Oh, it's been dynamic. It's, the whole energy complex has been on fire, and natural gas, as you said, and heating oil. So yeah, plenty of opportunity for traders to, pick a derivative, pick how you want to trade it, and you won't be. I don't think you'll be disappointed because there's movement. Don't trade over your head. Trade with a little bit of logic and look for those breakouts. And I think the movement is going to continue over this month as well, Manisha.
All right, Peter, thanks a lot for that, and all the best with your trades. And Manisha, thanks a lot as well. That's the commodities.